Surprise. I know I'm gonna have to edit this video when it finally does post so I can um, edit this video when it posts so I can shorten the time that most people are gonna probably come and tune in on here. I think I'm the only one here right now, but nobody knew it was coming. It was a surprise little impromptu type deal, so come on, computer. All right. I see that there are two people in here, but I don't know who it is. Well, maybe it's just one now. Boo, boo. I don't know if any of you guys are here. I don't see any, here we go again. I don't know if this is I don't see any messages or anything on there, so I don't know. What's going on, Sharon? I'm getting ready to put the message out there, let everybody else know that I'm live, but oh, you missed a lot last night. J. Paul, you missed a lot last night. I knew it was going to make some people upset and mad, stepping on some toes, whatever like that. But somebody, you know how it is. Somebody asked me a question. Somebody asked me a question and I answered it. But of course, just like all things, it went from me giving somebody's my opinion and my take on something to being blown out of. It didn't really get. Yeah, it did. It got blown out of proportion. But I don't want to make it seem like it turned into a big, huge, you know, giant riot type thing. But it was just. It wasn't surprising because I knew, no matter what. Like I said, I've been in the business of dealing with people for so long that people will. Oh yeah, it was like that, Paul. But it just went from me talking about a title. Let me see. But if you see the title to last night chat, you can only imagine how that went. But I'm taking a little break right now, so I got about a good 20 some odd minutes. I actually just kind of wanted to make this video just to let people know how if somebody has a different opinion than yours, that it's amazing how people can all of a sudden go from being like they are, you know, they're cool with you, you know, they follow your channel, they claim they love your channel, they love what you do and all this. But if you talk about something that they don't agree with, all of a sudden you become like this tyrant or something like that, if you know what I mean. Because that's pretty much what happened last night. I had to delete so many comments on my page because folks were, of course, I knew it was going to come though. If I know people were going to be cussing you out, calling you liars, I was called a liar, false teacher. I was called a deceiver of the people. I was called arrogant. I was called I'm not humble. Yep, that's exactly why. But not in the way that but J. Paul, not in the way that they thought I was though. They thought I was about to get on there and actually talk like for it, but it actually was it was actually complete opposite of what they thought it was going to be. So I mean, the chat room was lit up last night though, man. And then the thing is, it just gave people like it came off in a way that people actually felt comforted by it. You know what I mean? They were comforted by the way that I actually presented this so-called doctrine of the rapture, whatever like that. Because once they found that I didn't believe in it, and I gave my reasons and my points why, and I knew already what scriptures they were going to throw at me because I've been there, done that. You know what I mean? I talk with many pastors, many ministers. I talk with many groups of people, like open Q&A. So anyway, it's so funny that you know, people's psyche can completely change. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying that is this: if I'm talking about something that a person agrees with, they're with you. But the minute you talk about something that they don't agree with, all of a sudden they psyche change. They see you differently now. Now all of a sudden you're this arrogant, not humble, liar, deceitful, don't know what you're talking about. But what's funny is, like, if somebody asks me a question about how you doing, Kyla? If somebody wanted to ask you a question about proper nutrition, if I'm giving this person my take on proper nutrition and I'm talking about it, if somebody don't agree with what I'm saying, all of a sudden I'm arrogant and not humble. I forget some of the other stuff I call it. I'm a liar. I'm a something this. I was being called all kind of stuff. But like I said, it didn't matter. I erased those comments on there. So I thought that some of those folks are going to kind of be back in here during this part right here. But that's why I wanted to say is that's why on the channel I always urge people to check out some of my other material. I tell them to check it out. Hey, how you doing, Melanie? I tell them to check out the other material first, right? Because they can get an idea of who I am. I say that in the beginning of all my videos, and it's not just for a saying. And then the minute somebody asks me a question live and I begin to answer it, all of a sudden, people, wait a minute. And what's crazy too is that people try to, I'm telling you, I tell them all the time, nobody's going to control me. Nobody's going to control my thought process. I don't care if people decide they don't want to be a patron, if they decide they don't want to subscribe, if they don't want to follow you on Instagram or Twitter. I don't want this to come off as like I'm being like mean, but when I say I don't care, I'm saying I don't care if they're leaving based off the reasons that their feelings been hurt, or I'm saying something that they don't agree with. You know what I mean? Yeah, they asked me a question so they can attack my answer, but then yet I asked them, they gotta, if you're gonna call me anything, then you gotta prove to me what you're talking about. Anthony Taylor, I don't know what happened last night, man. Whenever I lost the feed, I have no idea. Stephen Lord, absolutely. I'm definitely going to keep it up. I can't help but to do that. But I'm not going to change my views and my thought process on this stuff like that, because now people saying, people were with you at first. When I'm sitting there helping people and doing things, they're with you. But like I said, the minute I talk about something that's like actually pulling their card, when people become offended, the first thing they do is, which I understand that process, you become offended. And then you become defensive. When you become defensive, you do anything you can to stop the so-called possible attack that you feel that you're having done to you. What's going on, Mandy? So if people feel like they're being attacked, they defend themselves any kind of way, even if it's with words. And that's what was going on last night. Folks was just blasting out words to me, which I expect. And like I said, you guys, if one that's known me long enough has been following me, I let that stuff just roll off. It doesn't affect me. So people calling me arrogant or calling me not being humble or calling me stupid, calling me dumb, calling me false, calling me an a-hole, calling me a devil in a wolf in sheep's clothing. I'll take all that. I'll take it. It doesn't matter to me. I know who I am and what I am, what I stand for. So it doesn't matter what people call me. It really don't. It has no effect on me. I've been through too much things in life to let things like that affect me. At least me. That's why some of my different videos, I try to tell people how to get a hold of their mind and think a certain way, if y'all know what I mean. Yeah, Kyla, well, even the ones that are so-called like followers of mine, or ones that have been with me for a long time in certain conversations, throwing their opinions and everything in there. I'm talking about those people. I'm not talking about like just random trolls jumping in and saying stuff. I'm talking about random people I'm talking about people that have been actually on here for a while. Like Melanie Harris, I recognize Melanie Harris in here. I recognize her well. She's a patron as well too. But what I'm saying is that I try to show people how whenever something comes about that you don't agree with, that doesn't mean that you should start attacking a person because they don't agree. For instance, like I said, it's real simple. Somebody likes fried chicken, somebody likes grilled chicken. If I sit up there and tell you why I like grilled chicken and why I think it's the best, that shouldn't turn me into an arrogant, a-hole, non-humble, lying, no chicken knowing person and don't know a thing about chicken. I mean, and then the fact that I laugh about the stuff, it makes them mad because, like I said, that's what people do. It makes them upset. they get mad. And look, if we don't agree on some things, I've had people in here that simply said, MRM, I that's your opinion. I respect your opinion. I don't agree. And I'm just like, hey, that's fine. That's cool. That's what we're supposed to do, is that right there. But to go from doing that to calling names, all it to me, it just displays to me what's actually your real feelings of who you are, you know. Roblox boy fun. Stephen Lord, absolutely. It's the man. It's just that it's. I tell people they have no idea. Nobody has. That's why I said. That's why I tell people to watch those church/God topic videos. They can understand where I'm coming from. They can understand how these thoughts and these beliefs came about. You know what I mean? They can understand. They would understand why I say what I say. But at the same time, if any of you guys in there, you guys know me good enough to where if you ask me a question in this live chat and I answer your question, I'm answering the question for you. Now, I'm telling people the best thing that I can possibly tell them, the latest advice, the latest research that I have, I'm going to give that to you. But at the same time, because there might be people in here as well listening, all they have to do is press a button to get out of the live chat. That's all they have to do. If you don't agree with it or you don't want to hear it, all you got to do is leave out of the chat. But to turn around and start, throwing names, it's like I said, it just shows me what people, it just shows me what's going on in people's real mind. It just shows me how easily they can be offended or have their feelings hurt. But at the same time, if you're going to tell me that I'm a liar, and if you're going to tell me that what I'm talking about is not true, you have to back up your statements. I'm all for that. I'm all open for it. But I'm not going to change what I know and what I see with my own eyes because of how you feel. So I mean, it got real hot last night, though. I mean, but it's fine, though. It's fine. So that's why this video was called About Last Night, because I wanted to address it to let people know that last night questions were asked to me. I answered those questions. And if you weren't the one that asked the question last night, then I was not talking to you. If you believe that Jesus is going to come back and take you away, I'm not going to sit here and call you stupid or dumb for believing that. But because I don't believe that, that doesn't mean that you can turn around and call me stupid or dumb either. You respect my opinion, just like I respect your opinion. And if you don't respect my opinion and you want to go off and call me names, that's cool too. But I mean, I'm just saying it's not gonna affect me because you got mad at me. Uh-huh. I'm always doing good, Milky Bar Kid. Milky Bar Kid. Wow. You said Terry? I don't remember. Oh, Terry actually ended up being cool though. Terry actually ended up being cool. It was actually the chat was going by so fast that I couldn't even keep up with everybody that was asking questions. Because then what happened is that once I started giving my view and once I started showing people why I believe the way I believe, and I was actually showing them exactly what it was saying in the Bible, people like all of a sudden it seemed like blinders came off and it was like, oh my God, I clearly understand it. I clearly see it. But then other people was like, oh no, he's being deceitful. He's deceiving. I got called a deceitful devil, especially when I told them, when I showed them in the Bible where it says that the Antichrist was already gone out into the world. He said he's already gone out, but people say, no, the Antichrist is not here. So I'm like, well, then I guess the Bible lying when it says the Antichrist has already gone out into the world all those thousands of years ago. So I said, I know, especially when I told him, I said, I don't pay attention to politics and nothing like that, but I do know in the church, I've heard ministers get up and say that President George Bush Sr. was the Antichrist, and then Bill Clinton was the Antichrist, and then George W. Bush was the Antichrist, then Obama is the Antichrist, and now Trump is the Antichrist. I mean, I just like, guys, that's just politics in the church. Like I said, I'm doing good. Doing real good. I got a bit blurry. Hopefully I'm clear now. At least to me, I look clear on my camera. But no, I'm just taking I'm taking my lunch break right now just to do that, because I eat once a day. So I figure I can just take that time out to come and just kind of, like I said, talk about last night, because I want people to see. And I deleted most of the comments last night, but I just want people to see that I'm not offended by people saying what they said last night. I'm not offended by people's opinions. I'm not offended by people saying you're wrong. But all I just said is that you got to show me. You just can't throw scriptures out at me without telling me relevance of who that scripture is talking to and what that scripture is talking about. One of the crazy examples that I gave last night is I told them this. I said, if I'm right here, you guys are seeing me right now. For the 23 people that's in this chat room right now, if I say to you guys, I'm going to be going live soon, but when I'm going to go live, you guys are not going to know. You guys are not going to know the day or the hour when I'm going to go live, but I am going to go live soon. Now, aren't you guys anticipating me going live sometime in the near future, or are you thinking about going live 6,000 years from now? Because I'm not even going to be alive. So that's what I'm saying. When I said that right there, people begin to see the scriptures like, oh, wait. So when Jesus said that, he was talking to them. And I go, yes, he was saying that to them. He wasn't. So that's what I'm saying. So people were getting kind of mad when I did that. And I just gave them that example right there. So what sense do it make for me to tell you guys, telling you 23 people that I'm going to be going live soon, but it's actually going to be about a good 6,000 to 7,000 years from now? You guys are not even going to be alive. So what is my point in telling you guys that? So that's what I'm saying. Some people, they say, well, they've been taught this all their lives. They've been taught their life. And they just said, Ty, I never even opened it up to see if it actually says that. I just figured that since the pastors and the different preachers are saying this, I just figured that it's true. And that's why I tell them, don't even believe what I'm saying. Don't even believe what I'm saying. Look in the Bible. You see that it's in there. They asked Jesus, those disciples and people asked Jesus a question. And Jesus answered that question to them. Because why would the apostles and the disciples be worried about what's going to be happening 6,000 or 7,000 years from where they are? You know, they didn't even have no comprehension of there's going to be a such thing as cars and airplanes and rocket ships and, you know, this camera looking at you guys and internet and chat rooms. They had no comprehension if this stuff would ever going to happen. So why would they be concerned about us 6,000 years from where they are? You know what I mean? So. But that's what it was. I just wanted people to see how simple it is. But a lot of ministers have put a spin on. I'm just telling you, I tell people I was part of a huge organization. I was in this stuff. I actually was going around teaching this stuff. But then I was only teaching because it was taught to me. I didn't go and find out the truth for myself. And once I did go and find the truth out, silly question for you, Ty. If a person is spiritual but does believe in God, should they still be able to celebrate Christmas? What's going on, Dad? Wait, Anthony Taylor, you said that just happened? Robin Butler, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's all. And I'm telling people, I'm telling people, don't believe me. I'm telling them, don't believe what I'm saying. This is what I'm telling them. I'm saying, look at it for yourself. But they still want, no, don't. Look in there and see if I'm wrong about it. That's why I say educate yourself. So, oh, Mary, I think when it all comes down to it, to answer your question in the short, I think that, all right, see you. Have a good one, Kyla. I think all in short, Mary, is that I think a lot of people do that based off of tradition anyway. So I don't think there's no harm in that. If a person don't believe in God or believe in Jesus and they celebrate Christmas, they're just celebrating technically the holiday. Like for instance, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that celebrate the 4th of July just for the sake of over here in the United States, they celebrate the 4th of July for the sake of the fireworks and barbecues, and they might get that day off of work when some folks can care less about the independence and anything like that. So yeah. Deadwood, that's exactly what it is. Deadwood, that's exactly what it was. Somebody got their feelings hurt, whatever like that. So I think they tried to flag it on YouTube, and YouTube took the video, they reviewed it, and then they put the video right back up. As y'all can see, it's not blocked. So that's what I'm saying. But that's what it is, Deadwood, is that, man, I don't know. It just shows you. It doesn't surprise me because I told you guys before, even though I know I'm talking to you guys, but all I see is little icons on the side of my chat, and I see words. But can you imagine doing this in front of a group of people, like a group of people, and these people are all yelling at you, telling you wrong, and all I'm simply doing is telling them, show me how. I just told them, all I told them was this: if you show me the origins of this whole belief of what you believe in, and it says that this belief that you believe in started happening in the early 1900s, and I say, well, what was being taught before that? And then all of a sudden people get mad. I understand, because you've been in it for so long, you've been taught so long, you believed in it, you put your heart into it, you put your feelings into it, and now somebody comes and actually tells you, I think otherwise, then you get mad. Oh, because my grandmama, I don't care what your grandmama told you, but I'm just saying, we're still here. So Deadwood, that's exactly right. Yeah, I know. Uh-oh, J. Paul. You got to go back and watch some other videos. Oh man, J. Paul, that's what this would be me, J. Paul, if I did it, that'd be me saying it all over again. All I'm simply saying is this, guys. I'm serious, and I know it's been hard, and I know that a lot of people have been brought up a certain way. I totally understand that. All I'm simply telling people to do is search this stuff out for yourself, because it's gonna open. I mean, guys, okay, as a therapist, look at here. I've had coaches. I've treated some of these coaches players, okay? These guys would sprain their ankle on a football field. Their coach told them, go home, put your foot in some Epsom salt and hot water. They done this for years because that's what they known as being the truth. And the thing is, the reason why they think it works is because this Epsom salt is supposed to help with soreness. When you sprain your ankle, it feels sore, right? Right. Now, also the warm water, it feels soothing, right? So then they figure, since it feels soothing and the Epsom salt is supposed to help with soreness, this is a good thing. But it actually is backwards. You actually are causing that injury to be more inflamed, because if you injure an ankle, you do not put your ankle in warm water, nor do you put it in Epsom salt, because it makes the injury worse. It brings inflammation to the area. So now that we know that if you put your foot in cold water or put it on ice, ice decreases the inflammation and it decreases the swelling. But for years, they known the truth to be to stick it in hot water and put it in Epsom salt when they didn't know that was harming them. So all I'm simply saying is that I know that people have been taught a certain way for a certain amount of years. They believe that, they stick with that. You're not gonna be able to tell me nothing different, but it's proof. Cold and ice takes swelling down. Cold and ice takes down physiologically. Cold gets rid of inflammation. So yeah, chaotic, and I think it's so much mass confusion that if somebody like, and I'm not, guys, y'all Deadwood, y'all the ones who've been here with me a long time, Melon, you guys know how I am. Y'all know my personality thus far. You guys know that I'm not the type of person to try to make me out to be something crazy, big, and special. But all I'm simply telling people is that when I came across this truth about this whole thing, I knew it was going to cause some people. I knew it was going to cause that. I knew it was going to cause a bunch of people to get angry. Because all people do to me, they just throw, I tell people, I don't mean to come off as being wrong, but I'm saying you read the brochure. And what I mean by that, people say, the Bible says no man knoweth the day or the hour. Yes, yeah. But then you got to read past that. Read past that to see what else it says. You know what I mean? I'm showing these people. I told them Jesus took the disciples outside the temple. He said, do y'all see these temples? Or he said, these buildings? They said, yes. He said, well, I tell you, not one of these stones shall be left unturned. And then they said to him, well, when are these things going to happen? What's going to be the sign of your coming? And he told them, when you guys see, he said them. He's not saying that to people 6,000 years from now. He is saying, now look, the people 6,000 years from now, when they see this happening, that's when the end is near. But then I'll say things like, I know then the people, I heard Thessalonians all day long. I know that by heart. I told you, I used to teach this stuff. I used to teach that the rapture is going to happen. You better get ready. The Lord is coming. He's coming to bring damnation to those that, And then you get to question yourself like, wait a minute, I thought he died for the sins of the world. And then he said there remained no more sacrifice for sins because Jesus was the ultimate sacrifice for the sins of the world. But then yet he's going to come back to destroy it. Don't y'all think that seems like God is kind of bipolar and a little psychotic if that's the case? And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's about God in a bad way. I love him. Absolutely love him. That's what I'm telling people. I love him. He speaks to me. He leads and guides me. He does this for me. But I'm just saying it'll make people not even want to get involved in anything to deal with church. Because what's the point? But that's all it is that I just know, like I said, it'll make it. This is it's really hard. People, I was taught this since I was a kid. And I even told them last night, I said, my great grandma said to my grandma, you guys about to be ready because the Lord is coming soon. The rapture is coming soon. She pulled out the same scriptures. My grandma taught this same thing to my mom and my aunts and my uncles about being ready, being ready, being ready. I was taught this same exact thing. Then, you get involved in the church and they say, the Lord is coming soon. These things are about to happen. You see the earthquakes over here and there. I was mad. I was mad because I felt that, man, I'm not going to ever be able to have kids. I won't be able to be married. I won't be able to feel the warmth of a woman's touch because the end is here. But it never came. And then people turn around and say, oh, no, see, people are going to go around saying that the end is not going to come and da-da-da-da-da. Don't think it, though. And then I say, wait a minute, you guys said that the end is supposed to be here. Then you say, no man knoweth the day or the hour. But then y'all say, wait, because a day is like 1,000 years to the Lord. Well, if we count 1,000 years from the day that the Lord said that, it still ain't happened. So all I'm simply telling people, I don't know anything about preterist doctrine. I'm just going based off of my own, what I've gotten from God myself, what I've asked him, and then what I've asked him to open up with the scripture. So I don't know. Somebody asked something about eschatology last night too. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Just like if you guys ask me something about politics or which branch does what branch, I won't be able to tell you nothing. So I don't know what the preterist thing is. And Autry 113, I agree. Well, Doc, yeah, see, God did destroy. He destroyed it, but people lived. Noah and his family was saved. But notice that if God was trying to save people from how bad the world is, he would have just took the people, right? But he didn't do that. He flooded the earth, the water back receded back down, and then his people started all over again. He never took nobody. I mean, I'm trying to figure out, when people tell me this, all I ask them is, let me know, what is it that God is trying to save us from? So when people ask me, Tylen, are you saved? I'll say, you can say that because I know that's what's been thrown around in church cliches, but what am I saved from? And then they say, oh, because they're going to begin to do this thing to Christians and they're going to begin to do this over in America. They're going to begin to prosecute you and kill you. Well, that's against the law. I mean, so that's all, man. Then, like I said, I've done this for so long that I know it's going to make people offended. I know it's going to make them mad. I know that I had to delete a ton of comments because of all the things that people were saying about me. All of a sudden, I'm cool with MRM, but as long as he don't talk about nothing that's going to offend me. And at the same time, I tell people too, last night, if these people, and there was a few pastors, they asked me my take on it. When I gave them my take on it and I was answering their questions, the people that happened to be in the chat room and listen, all of a sudden it turned into, it got pretty crazy. Yeah, exactly. There would. That's what I'm saying. I tell people time, if you don't agree with this, all you have, if the guys, there's people in here, if people don't agree with the subject or the matter that I'm going to be talking about, you know, you can easily just press that button to get out of the chat. Because if you tell me, if somebody says to me, Tylen, no, Jesus is coming back, and I'm just going to be like, okay, well, if you believe that, that's fine. But I'm not about to call you stupid or arrogant or ignorant or dumb or crazy or out of your mind or a false teacher because you believe that way. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that to people because I was once that person. But because I don't believe that and I have scriptures and all this stuff like that, and I'm seeing how the word was talked about, then people, I mean, like I said, I'm used to it because I've had people call me arrogant, dumb, stupid, conceited, you know, you're overconfident. I've been told all those different things because I Know what I know that I know. But the thing is, I don't accept nothing that nobody say nothing about me, because nobody lived my life. Nobody went through what I went through. Nobody's seen the tragedies and stuff that I've seen through my eyes. So for anybody to call me stupid, dumb, arrogant, I'm fine with that. I can be, if you feel that way, then all right. Oh, okay. Well, eschatology is the general word for end times doctrine. Preterism is the idea that revelation has already been fulfilled. Oh, okay. I guess, but I don't want nobody to put me in that category or label me with any of that. I don't. Oh, wow, Mandy. Mandy, that's exactly what I was taught too. Well, Doc Holliday, that's what I'm saying. See, when you say be careful not to lead people into a certain direction, I say it in my videos all day long. I tell people, and you guys can, if you rewatch the videos I did last night, you're gonna hear me say, don't believe me. Find out for yourselves. Don't believe me. Ask him, because it said he will lead us into all truth and righteousness. So I even tell people, don't even believe me. Even though I am speaking truth, don't believe me. Go and find it out. Go and do it. But all I simply say is this: I know that something that has been taught to you and you take it in as being factual and it sticks with you and you believe that, you will go and preach it and teach it and believe it and defend it with all your being. But it doesn't mean that it's still true. How do I feel about Netflix prices going up? I don't know. I didn't know they went up. So, Deadwood, that's absolutely right, man. There was a guy in here. There was a guy in here last night that he was so furious because I told him I understand it. This dude was cussing and going off because he was so mad at how what things have done to him. And I understand it because I told him I was there, man. I mean, y'all, I was scared to, I mean, it may seem funny to some of you guys. I was so scared to death, and I know I repeat myself. I was so scared to death that I was not going to be able to be married, that I would not be able to have kids, because they told me that the end is here and you better be ready. I mean, it freaked me out. But I could not understand for the life of me, how can that be? I mean, it can just mess people up. That's why I say get the truth for yourself. Find out for yourself. You got all this wealth of information at the tip of your fingers that you can easily go and search this stuff yourself. And while you're doing that, ask the Lord to help you understand what's being said. That's all. I mean, somebody said, whoever EJ said, when I changed to preterism last year, I lost friends. Or EJ, of course. Oh man, big time, dude. Man, that's why it has to be a personal relationship. If people are claiming that they really are after God and they follow the Lord, then J. Paul, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. And if anybody, and even with me, I told you, I preached the rapture. I taught rapture. I told people you're going to be going to hell. I told people you better get ready because the end of the day is coming, without even actually knowing if that's true for myself. So when I got away from all that and asked him to reveal this stuff to me, when he started opening the scriptures up to me and helping me understand what he was saying when he said that, I knew it was just going to blow. I was so excited about it. I was so happy about it. And one thing that I would never do, I never lead people astray, because if I'm leading you to the one that's leading me, you can't be led astray. Did I see your mag and MRM eyes? Oh, I'm sorry. That's not for me. Somebody, somebody told me last night, somebody sent me a message. They said, no. They said, you're wrong. They said, because he's going to reestablish his nation. He's going to reestablish his nation in Israel. And that happened in 1948. And I'm like, wait, so we got 48, 58, 68, 78, 88, 98, 2008, 2018. So 80 some years. And that guy said, no, he said that in 1948, he's going to reestablish the nation of Israel. And the nation of Israel was established in 1948. And he said it's going to happen for that generation. Well, there are some people that's 80 and 90 years old that's still walking around talking about, hey, we're reestablished. What's going on? Brad Evans, that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. I know a lot of you guys wanted me to get back on this topic because a lot of you guys saying we never heard somebody talk about it in this way. And there's not many people that's doing that, because everybody, like I told you, everybody just rolls with the masses. Guys, there was a guy on here last night. I don't know who it was, but he was taught a certain way about black people. He said all black people do is boast about what they have, what they got, all this and all that. He said, but then they never want to be accountable or show that they have any weakness. And I asked him, I said, that's those black people. I don't know what black people you've been around. I don't know what black people you been like introduced to, but that's those black people. And then it comes down to it. The only like notion or like the only thing that this guy knew about black people is what he's seen on TV. So I said to him, so you let TV dictate and indoctrinate you on how black people are and what black people is based off of a lot of rap videos that you've seen without actually going and getting to know a real human black person? And he was just flat out honest. He was like, yeah. And I said, see, that's what I'm saying. You've been taught to think this way. You've been taught to be this way without actually even questioning it. You know what I mean? You allowed your brain defenses just to accept what was told to you and tell you, you better go and do it this way, think this way about black people. This is how black people are. This is what they do. All they do is rap, and talk about money that they got. And he just said that's actually how he thought black people were without even actually knowing a black person, period. So it just is, you know, and a lot of people wanted to jump down his throat, and I told him, don't do that. The guy is being sincere. He was just being sincere. So I can go into a different area. I said I can go into a different area. I can. I'm about to take a pause for a second. You guys are gonna be feeling pretty dizzy. I said I said I'm going to a different room. That's all I'm saying. I'm just finishing up the topics and all that. That's all. I'm still here. Still here, folks. I'm just relocating. Hopefully y'all can still see me. I had to change. Is it too bright? Can y'all still see me? Is it too bright? Is that better? All right, there we go. Now I got to go back up and see the other comments that you guys are saying. Well, no, that's the thing though, is that Brad Evans, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying, is that it has to get to yeah, well, that's the thing, is that Bob Morris, that's why I tell people all the time, is that, see, it's like it can become a deal where as long as you are doing what people want you to do for them, they're cool. But the minute you don't go along with how these people think or anything like that, all of a sudden you become, I mean, it blows my mind, because I really want people to actually have their own individual thought process. People need to have their own individual thoughts, your own mind, your own opinions, not just opinions because everybody else is saying it, if you know what I mean. My thing is about individuals, individuality thing. That's what it's about. Individuality. It's not going to be about because everybody says this around the world or everybody says this in the church. That means it is true. And not everybody is saying it. Not everybody is saying it. But I know I tell people all the time. It's just that when just because I don't believe it the same way that somebody else does, that means you're going to come at me. Because here's my thing: a lot of when I talk to actual groups of pastors or theologists or anything like that, when I say to them, "What are you going to say to me 20 years from now?" Because like I said, man, is that it's always going to be something they're going to say. They're going to say, well, it's not in his time yet. Or they're going to say, well, you don't know the day or the hour. They're going to say he's going to come like a thief. I heard that. They're going to say, one day to the Lord is like a thousand years. Well, if you count 1,000 years from the day that the Lord said it, it's been about 6,000 or 7,000 years. Oh, dead well were you? That's all it is. You just want people just to think for themselves. Don't just believe something because somebody said, guys, this is going to happen right here. And we know this because these scriptures right here say it. You can't just take that and say, okay, that's true. You actually go and search this stuff out for yourself. If you accept Christ as your savior, all the other noise doesn't matter. Well, yeah, Doc, I totally completely understand that, but that comes down to at the same time if you say if somebody is following after Christ, it says that his Holy Spirit is supposed to lead us all into truth and righteousness. So that's what I tell people to do. Be led into it. Just because you or someone else says something about a revelation from God does not mean you or they are right or wrong. Personal revelation is for that person. Bob, man, that is so true because there are people, man, we couldn't even play, gosh, Sonic the Hedgehog on Sega Genesis because it was too violent for your spirit. I mean, God, you couldn't even watch cartoons. If God, you just want to say it, if God gave you the revelation of something, it can be a revelation of something that's going on in your life or something like that, or he dropped a revelation on you about something that you didn't have an understanding about, that's great. But the only thing is that if when we talk about prophecy though, now, when people are so-called prophesying, that's supposed to be for his church or his people or his nation, right? So if this person comes along and said that God gave them a brand new prophecy, then God doesn't lie. So everything that he said came true. But the only thing is this particular thing, this only started like I said, the fact that this started in the early 1900s, it makes me question what was being preached before that person got that revelation that he's going to rapture the church and we're going to be sitting up there watching while he's raining fire, hell, and brimstone on everybody else. Because like I said, if that's the case, then it makes Jesus going to the cross insignificant. He died on the cross for the sins of the world, but then yet, no, he didn't, because he's going to come back and kill all the ones that don't, So, okay, what are my views on the heaven in the book and movie Heaven is for Real? What is that? Yep, Drew. And the thing is, the fact that it said the Lord will lead you into all, it said His Holy Spirit will lead you into righteousness and truth. Are y'all talking about that book about when that book or that movie with that little boy dying and said that he saw Jesus or whatever? All right, Brad Evans, have a good one. Okay, yeah, and then no, man, no, no. See, the thing is, when people say this is what I'm saying. When people say things like destroy the world, it makes you think about earth. Because then what sense does it make when Jesus says, be not conformed to this world, but be ye renewed by the transforming of your mind, by the renewing of your mind. So if he said, be not conformed to this world, is he telling you don't become a rock or don't become dirt or don't become a tree when he says world? So when he says he's coming back to destroy the world, it is, I don't know, but it's like around, it has to be around 2:45 here, where I am in. But the thing is, Ian, this is what I'm saying, guys. This is what I'm saying. You guys know that we get into some pretty deep stuff like this right here. But all I'm trying to get people to understand is this: you can't just take a scripture and read that scripture and then just base a whole ideology or um, a whole like life thing off of that. You cannot do. Oh my God, Anthony Taylor, you and I both. So wasn't no TV. You better not have no shorts on. We couldn't wear a red tie because it mocked Jesus' blood flowing down. I couldn't even have a mustache or no chin hair, and so. But that's all I'm saying is that it said he's going to come as a moment in the twinkling of an eye, and people just take all these different scriptures from the different parts of the Bible and make it into one whole, one whole. It actually became his own doctrine. That's what happened. It has become his own doctrine. This is the trailer. Is there any pastors or preachers you like watch? No, I don't. I don't even have cable. I don't even watch. I don't. When I say I don't watch TV, I don't watch cable. I don't watch stuff like whoever. Like I can tell you some names, like I don't know, T.D. Jakes or Jesse Duplantis or Benny Hinn. I don't. I don't watch it. Too much stuff is propaganda. Too much stuff is propaganda, man. Because the thing is that my thing is this: if all these things that if all these things are true, then again, they should be T.D. Jakes, whoever doing these miracles and stuff in their church. Why does it always have to happen at their church in the church building? I mean, you would think that every day people like Benny Hinn or T.D. Jakes, I don't know who the other people are, Jesse Duplantis, you would think that they would be going through hospitals, just touching all these people with cancer and all stuff like that, and these people are being healed. So that's what I'm saying is that it's just that I think now because we have so much exposure to different people ideas and different people opinions, you're going to be able to see the stuff for yourself. Because like I said before, I've been there and I've seen it, and I've seen how they actually use their own church members to go up there and act like they have an issue, and they'll pray for them like some miraculous happened to them. And don't get me wrong, people have been healed by God, period. I've known of some personally been healed by God, but a lot of times it never happened there in the church though. So. Okay, so Doc, check this out. Doc, okay, you said to say that it won't end is a pretty big assumption. Oh yeah, it's a huge assumption. I'll tell it to the whole world. If I was able to get onto a microphone and speak to the whole nations of the world, I would tell them that, because the thing is, I guarantee you, I'm telling you, I'm not gonna be proven wrong on it. I'm not gonna be proven wrong on it. So I get confused because is it supposed to be God to come back and rapture us out and destroy the world? Or is this asteroid supposed to be the reason why the world is being destroyed? An asteroid could strike the earth and cause another big ice age. Like I said, it could be. I just have a hard time dealing. The fact that what God has done for me since I was a 10-year-old child and how he speaks to me, I just have a hard time believing that he would let something like that happen to his most precious creation. You know what I mean? Now, things like natural disasters, You know, things like natural disasters, those things happen. Like people want to take things like all the earthquakes in diverse places and wars and rumors of wars. When has there not ever been earthquakes? When has there not ever been tornadoes? When has there not ever been hurricanes? When has there not ever been snowstorms and blizzards? When has there not ever been wars? When has there not ever been murders? It's always been. That has always been. So we can't take that and use that as firepower to say the end is near. Said your belt buckle was a Holy Ghost reflector. Man, come on, man. That is so funny, man. All right, Lord, go get some more ice. Lord, what can help? You can keep on. You instead of if you talking about for your mouth, Lord, try doing it with ice water. No, I didn't say no matter what you do, God won't judge you. I didn't say that. I'm just saying when he was teaching, when he was leading people to him, he said, like for instance, people say, so what about the Ten Commandments? And I say, Jesus actually told him he gave him a greatest commandment. He said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Now, see, if you love your neighbor as you love yourself, you won't have to worry about obeying those Ten Commandments at all because it's going to naturally happen. See, that's what I'm saying. If you love your neighbor like you love yourself, you won't commit adultery. You won't kill them. You won't steal from them. You won't covet their wife. Especially, that's what I'm saying. You too, Mandy. I hope you're able to get that thing going for you, that your live thing. If not, then just record yourself and then upload it. Yeah, I'm doing this as a break because after this, I'm gonna go in about now 8 minutes. I'm going back to work, and then when I get off and come back, then I'm going to probably do some more reaction videos. Well, okay, Doc, when you say why does it matter if you die at 90 or he takes you tomorrow in the rapture? Well, see, the thing is, Doc, is this. It's all about how it's taught to you. Like I told you, when I was young as a kid, my great grandma taught this to my grandma. My grandma taught this to my mom. Okay, my mom didn't push that notion on us at all. She didn't even talk to us about it. But when I got in church, of course, I would come back and say to my mom, "Hey, you ever hear about this thing about the rapture? Like we're in the end times." My mom, and then my mom would say, "Oh yeah," she'd say, "Mama taught that," and then she'd be like, "Oh yeah, also Big Mama taught Mama that." So what I'm saying that for is when you say what the obsession is just that what it can do to you psychologically, to sit there and worry that the world is getting ready to end or not knowing if you're good enough or whatever like that, it messes you up because so much church lingo gets thrown around. They say things like, we're his most precious creation. God loves us. But then they say, you know what? We're nothing but filthy rags. It can just like, okay, what am I to him? But they say God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. And then the scripture after that turns around and say that he came not into the world to condemn it, but through him the world might be saved. Then they turn around and say, but he gonna destroy it. You see what I'm saying? It can just mess your mind up so bad that you just like, ugh, it can drive you crazy. So that's why I say that. That's why for the person that asked me the question, y'all got to think about this. This is a continuation from questions that a few pastors and a few of the subscribers asked me last night. I'm still pretty much answering their question. Ronald Sanchez, you said Jesus talked about condemnation a lot. Well, I'll give you an example right here. He caught a woman committing adultery, and the people had the stones in their hand. And everybody kind of know this story. He said, he that is without sin cast the first stone. It said, and those people became convicted. They dropped their stones and they turned around. Jesus continued to write in the sand. He looked at that woman and he said, where are your accusers? She said, I don't have none. He said, I don't condemn you either, but just go and sin no more. Did he say, now you know you're not supposed to commit adultery? He didn't do none of that. He told her simply, go and don't do it again. But I don't know how, every time something like that happened, is that that's what people want. That's what I'm saying. We've been taught to think negative. We've been taught When something goes down, straight judgment, kill them. And again, like I said, I was taught this all while being in church. And I was confused because I'm like, man, God spoke to me and he talks to me all the time. And in this particular matter, I'm listening to this man say this. So man, God, God, Jesus, you're going to have to help me with this because I'm confused. You love me. You died for me, but you're going to destroy the world. But then you told me that you gave your only begotten son. It said, see what I'm saying? God, so this is what I'm saying, guys. How does it sound to say God so loved the world? He loved the world. He's going to destroy the world. He loved the world. He gave his only begotten son. That's how much he loves us, but he's going to destroy it. See what I'm saying? This stuff can just mess with you psychologically. If God is our father, what parent would do that horrible crap to their children? Well, that's kind of, yeah. In this life, but once you die and you don't believe, then what? Oh, you will find out. Whether you believe or not, you will find out. That's what I mean. And the way I look at it sometimes too, when we say the people of the world, like Lacey, when you say the people of the world have turned, the people of the world have turned from, oh no, you didn't say this. I forget. I just read a comment said the people of the world have turned from God. Or could it be that a lot of people of this world have been led astray from God? Have I ever had a near-death experience? No. Almost being shot, you can say that. That happens a lot in Chicago. Georgie girl, thank you for that. I'm got about 3 more minutes, everybody, for me to have to go shoot out and go see some more of my peeps, see some more patients. But I just want to make sure that that's completely clear on that everybody can know where I'm coming from. You know, that's what I'm saying. I just want to. I'll be seeing you guys probably in the reaction videos later on. Joker, no. PA student. And also, right now, I work as a physical therapist assistant. You're welcome, movie dude. Oh, you say y'all know y'all thoughts on anyway? No, that's completely fine. I just say just like to clear things up because I don't want to. You guys know I am. I'm not no condescending, you peasants and you commoners and. Oh man. So anyway, like I told y'all before, I just wanted to clear that up. Wait, David, you said the earth will be destroyed when Satan is destroyed. Those that accept the free gift of salvation will not be here. The earth will be destroyed when Satan is destroyed. Satan was already taken care of at the cross. It said Jesus defeated him at the cross. So my question is, what enemy are people fighting? But anyway, that's gonna be for another subject. The biggest thing is this, folks. Don't believe nothing that I say. Don't believe nothing that pastors say. And when I mean by that, when I say don't believe, I'm saying don't just take what I'm saying to you as truth. What you have to do, ask for guidance, ask for God to actually reveal this stuff to you, and you will see He's going to show it to you. You have to be having an open mind. You have to be willing to take it in to understand what He's going to show you. You have to be an open mind. But if you're already going with a mindset of I'm only doing this just so I can, then I don't know. I don't know what He's going to do. But all I know is I tell you this: ask Him. He will tell you. He will tell you. He will show you. Don't just believe me, even though I'm telling you the truth. Don't just believe my truth. Go and find it out for yourself. Please do that. Find it out for yourself. Research this. The number one thing if you want my advice, the number one thing I would tell you this: Go and research how the rapture doctrine started. Start there. Okay? Okay, one joke. Okay. Like Hey, I'm gonna remember that. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you, Don. I hear you. I hear you, sis. But I like that Joker. Hey, one that I had that I told people. I said, what was one of the first books in the Bible? And I said it was a Honda because they were all in one accord. I like that though. The whole. All right, guys. It's about that time. I got to get back to doing what I'm doing. I'll be catching y'all in the reaction videos. All right. God bless you all. You guys all have a good one.